Did you know teachers aren't humans? They're not allowed to show stress or age, have health problems, show fear, waste time, and most of all, fail. They're not even allowed to go to the bathroom. But that's okay, because we're here to talk about how we're all just playing a role. And at 3 o'clock, we get to be us again. 40 years ago, two 8-year-old boys were bored out of their minds in school, and they vowed one day they would do something about it. They did it to honor their friends. They did it to honor their classmates. They did it for the love of learning. I'm Matt, and this is Rob, and 40 years later, we get our turn, but now we're playing teacher.
Recording in progress.
Okay, welcome to Playing Teacher. I'm Matthew Cade. This is Mr. Rob Monahan along with Brugge. And hang on, I just shut off my Zoom. I don't know what the hell did I do.
We still
Well,
hear
you're
that.
still here.
We still see you and we still hear you.
Yeah.
Hang on, I don't know.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
wait,
look
I'm
like
back. Sorry, I hit a button. I told you I can't hit, and you put buttons by me, it's a disaster. I hit the wrong button. Everybody was gone for a second. Go ahead, Brooke. Sorry.
Nothing. Is this annoying? This light?
Yeah, why are you coming in? You're like a spirit.
Yeah, it's like I think
What's going on there?
it's like she has a
This-
spotlight on herself. She's like she wants to be the
It reminds
star.
me of like the like Back to the Future when the photo starts to disappear from the photo.
She's
Yeah.
disappeared. Yes. Like
Yeah.
Or I'm an angel. It looks like a halo.
Well, yeah, it's not that.
Yeah.
So
Shut up. I'm turning it off. Oh.
You're changing. I was like, let's just
No.
close it off.
No.
This is on YouTube.
what's that sweatshirt? South Side.
I'm going to take it off soon because it was
Yeah, South
freezing. It's freezing up here, but now I'm sweating.
Wait,
so
South Side of
give me a
what?
moment.
I'm on the
High
south side of
school.
Brooklyn.
Southside High School. Hold on one second.
Oh. Your high school was called
Brugge, when I
South
said
Side High
you-
School?
Yeah, when I said change, you actually didn't have to go change.
I had
was
to take it off. I had to
Wait.
take it off.
Let's all
Let's just all just go take off our shirts in the middle of the podcast and come back.
let's all say the name. Let's all say the name of our high school. Brugge, you go first.
Okay.
My kids' high school, Southside High School. Southside High School.
Oh, what about yours? Where you went?
Yeah, he's talking about your high school.
Oh, I went to Mepham WC. Wait, WC? WC?
I don't know. It's your high school.
Yeah, you spent 4 years there. So
WC Mepham High School.
Mepham?
Mepham.
Okay. Interesting. Matt?
WC Mepham.
I went to Edward R. Murrow High School.
Mm,
Where is that? Brooklyn?
Yeah, Midwood.
Cathedral Prep Seminary.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, literally.
Yeah. See, like I don't know. So let's just really quickly, if you're in New York, I don't know, Matt, if you experienced this, but when you're in 8th grade, for at least where I was, you apply to high school, like kids apply to college. And so like you can put out a general application for public schools. You can apply to private schools, and then you can apply to like the specialized public schools, which are Stuyvesant, Bronx Science, and Brooklyn Tech. Right.
And you do that for middle school also back in the day.
Yeah, you could do it for middle school too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I applied. I got into Brooklyn Tech, and then I put 3 choices down for private schools. The first was Malloy, the second was St. Francis or something, and the third was Cathedral Prep Seminary. And I got a full scholarship to Cathedral. And even though all my friends went to Malloy and St. Francis and all these like Holy Cross, I went to Cathedral. I didn't know anyone. It was like I had like 50 kids in my class. So, and then I lost that scholarship halfway through because I had my first girlfriend like at the end of sophomore year. So I failed everything. I lost the scholarship anyway. Yeah.
Well, you had a good time.
I
Had
have
a
a,
good time.
I have
Is that
a,
what
his-
you said,
I
Maddie?
I have a history of completely dropping everything. Like when I have a girlfriend, like everything else goes out the window. I don't care. Like I fail all my classes, you know.
That's crazy. Yeah, but you got into Albany. You got into SUNY Albany.
Yeah. And then
So
the same thing happened when I met Carlene. I failed all my classes up at Albany. And then I turned it around so that I could stay up there. Otherwise, I'd have to like drop out and come home.
well, yeah, and then you'd have to leave her.
Yeah,
So that's
right.
why,
That
yeah,
was my inspiration.
you were motivated by girls.
I did better when I had like when I was with Cindy because mostly because she would take my notes in class when we met in college. I was a horrible note taker.
I did better when I started dating Jeff also. I felt like I yeah, second half of high school, I did much better because of him. Aw,
All right, Maddie.
shout out.
Actually, does anyone have anything before we introduce the topic?
No, it's like shitty out here.
Yeah, we were talking just about how bad the weather is. But you know, it's just the weather, you know, it's gonna pass.
Yeah, with
But
Hurricane Erin.
yeah. Well, yeah, actually, Rob, I was asking, so how's the weather by you?
Great. It's totally fine. I mean, I think hurricane usually hits on the coast. I'm like 3 hours in from the coast. So, right, like it's not any like right now, nothing. It's just nice out, you know.
Yeah, I think they
Warm.
closed the beaches in New York.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, and
All of our cabanas are flooded.
yeah, but it's just it's not like raining hard here. It's just raining. You know, pretty cold. But whatever. I'm hanging out at home.
So,
All right, so what's our topic?
All right,
Because
so
I don't have no idea.
I don't know. We put everybody to sleep the last 2 minutes.
yeah.
If you're still tuning in, our topic today is going to be your personal physical health and mental health as a public school teacher.
Mm.
And you know, we I think combined we have about 60 years experience. So we definitely know about you know, when you work this job for many, many years, it's so important, you know, to keep your physical health going. And I have a history of my weight just fluctuating where I just watch it go up. I would watch it for years, just slowly go up over the year, and then by the summer, like it would just slowly go down, and then I would lose the weight. It was a horrible habit. You know, I just knew I was going to gain 20 pounds. Then by the summer, I was going to lose 20 pounds. It was just, you know, I should have had a better habit during the years of keeping it off. There were certain, you know, I guess certain periods I worked harder at it. And when I met Rob, I was sort of stuck at the same weight for a while, and he helped me originally just you know, lose a certain amount of weight. And I remember us, you know, one of the first things we did together was you like, you know, you taught me about food. And I remember just
Mhm.
asking, like, do you know why I just keep gaining? And he's like, yeah. And you just say, yeah. I was like, is it because of what I'm eating? I was like, yeah. Yeah, like, you know, so like, and then he was just like, he just knew the answers. He was like, you know, and he said like, write down everything you ate like the last couple of days, and I did. And he's like, and he would just explain everything that I'm eating during work, what I'm eating, you know, and how I was eating it and everything. It started to open my mind. So a lot of it is, you know, teachers probably eat certain things because of time crunch,
Yeah.
snacks they eat, you know, the schedule, but so much goes, a lot of it's stress too, you know. Sometimes you just like you had just the worst period and it makes you so happy to cross the street and grab a slice of greasy pizza, right? Because it might just make you feel better, you know. I
Or a
knew teachers that
bagel.
would have like a bunch, you know, sugary drink, or, you know, they would just drink too much coffee or whatever they had to do just to get through the day. And these little things they probably might not even realize just make them
Yeah.
feel better. But
Some people would get a slice of pizza and then they would take all the cheese off and have a big giant mound of cheese and they would eat the pizza.
yeah, I knew someone who used to do that. Yeah,
But you know,
as
it's
well.
like Matt, this is building off what you said. Like when Brugge would take all the cheese off her pizza, I would take
Yeah.
all that cheese and eat it. You know what I
He
mean?
would eat it.
It's
You
You
like,
and
would eat the
Gloria
cheese.
would
Yeah.
eat the cheese.
yeah, man. So it was like, yeah.
I had the
That's why you guys are
opposite, Matt.
friends, you know. What?
Maddie, I had the opposite. Like when I first started, I ended up losing a ton of weight just
Ah,
because of my anxiety and working that building. I I was like emaciated. I mean, now like 18 years later, I've definitely, like, I've gained a lot of weight since then, and I feel better. I mean, I should lose a couple of pounds, but I feel actually better,
Yeah.
like mental health wise. But I was really sick when I was working there, like in the beginning, lost so much weight. It was gross.
No,
Actually,
no, I never had
and
that problem of
honestly,
losing. I would just gain
and
no
then
matter what
people
it
would
is.
make comments, to me about my weight, which I thought was like really interesting.
There's a
They would
few
make,
people that we worked with who just would say it openly. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I
like, you're
got it
too
as a guy.
skinny.
Well, I got it as a guy. Like, just to to be like, yeah, I remember, I think my later years, somebody said to me like, like, you and me, we got the same problem or something like that. I was like, I got a problem? I was like, oh, we got to do something, right? I was like, dude, like, thanks a lot. I thought I was doing all right. I was like, what the
Yeah.
hell?
But I
Set it up,
remember,
this day sucks. I got 4 in a row, but now you just told me I'm fat on top of everything else. I got to get through the day.
I remember, and Matt, even though we had different situations where, like, I was losing, you were gaining, we both went to Rob for help. Like, I remember
Yeah.
diagrams he
Well,
used to make for me.
well, now I'm on a health kick. I have to drop a lot. So the last 3 weeks I dropped 15 pounds, right? And so I'm on like the next 2 or 3 months I want to drop 40, right? So I drop 15 in about 3 weeks, something like that, right? But I did call Rob right away. I said, this is what I'm going to eat, and we talked the diets and like what I had. This is what I'm going to do now. Always would run it by him, but one of the things he gave me was for walking or jogging, the weighted vest. And I bought that right away. I bought a 20-pound one. So I've been, so I have that, so little new things, and he sent me research on it. So he's like my guy. Anything fitness, I call Rob, or anything I'm doing.
Are you doing the short spine? Remember, you
No,
guys like
no,
did something, I think that's what it's
I'm
called, right?
doing, and I sent it. I don't know exactly what it's called, but because I'm sort of adjusting it a little bit. But basically, this is how I'm eating right now. I'm only eating meat, fish, chicken, eggs are my main sources of protein, and then for fiber and things like that, I'm just having fruits and vegetables, just drinking water and coffee. I'm keeping black and no alcohol. Cut out alcohol. Stop drinking. So that's basically what I'm doing. When I get to that, up until I reach that point, and then I'll adjust it, I guess, if I need to, if I want to add
So,
a few,
all right, but like,
so no grains or anything like that. Go ahead.
well, that's great that you're doing that now. But when we were in school, like, how did you said that you would go over the summer, you would lose a little bit, and then you would go back to school, and then you
Yeah,
would
I didn't do
gain.
that. Yeah.
Well, no. I know, but what I'm saying is, when you were in school and you were gaining the weight,
Mhm.
was it every year you were gaining more and more, or
No,
were
it was
you
like
like
I would gain
leveling,
it during
re-leveled
the
out?
year, and then I would lose it in the summer. So I would gain it, and then I would lose it back during the summer. And it was almost the same amount up until probably the last few years. I didn't lose enough back over the summer. So it slowed
Right.
down as I got older, as I was, as I've been, closing in on 50, I'm 49 now, so it gets harder. And I realized if I didn't drop it now, I was at that point where it's just going to get harder and harder. So I'm just making a choice to get to a certain way now and then sort of keep at it. So I won't, this is the most amount probably I needed to drop.
To lose.
Yeah.
One thing, what Brugge said, Brugge mentioned Schwarzbein before. So for people listening, like, this is something Matt and I both did, like, back in the day. So Schwarzbein, she is a doctor and she's an endocrinologist. She wrote a book. And so,
principle.
yeah. And basically, like, in that book, like, that we didn't really follow exactly what the book said, but essentially it's like you're balancing your hormones by eating certain amounts of certain foods every, during the day. So basically, like, we had like 4 rules basically. One rule was, you have to leave 3 hours in between feedings, like in between eating. So if you eat at 7 a.m., you can't eat again until 10 a.m., right? And then the second rule was during those feedings, you can't eat in the book, I think it's 15 grams, but we did 20 grams. You can't eat more than 20 grams of carbs, net carbs in a
Well,
feeding.
in the first 30 days, it was like the healing program.
Yeah.
You were doing, I think you were doing 15 and 8. It was like 15 carbs during that, and then 8 carbs for the snack.
Yeah. And like you did that. I was in maintenance already, so I just did 20
Yeah.
grams every
Maintenance
meal.
is like after, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember you introduced it to me
Yeah.
and kind of
Yep.
coached me through the beginning part of it, the 30 days. And that's when I dropped. Like Rob and I have an interesting relationship because we'll really discuss our flaws. I'll leave it out for the viewers. And guys don't usually just talk about these things, like like things on their body that like their physiques and stuff. You're like what are you not proud of? We openly
Yeah.
discussed it. We had that kind of trust level, like where we just like it was just you and me. We're just gonna get into this, and so the diet helped and working out helped and things like that. Where if you really get into it, there has to be a trust level, and that's part of our relationship was just that level of just
Yeah.
this is between us. Well, now I'm talking about it openly to everybody in the world, but I'm not getting specifics. But
But it was hard. It was hard though. Like at that time where we were, like in Queens, there wasn't a lot. Now there's a lot. There wasn't a lot out there. So like there was like 7-Eleven, there was
oh
Subway,
God,
other fast food, there was diner, there was pizza. Do you remember any of
I
the staples though? Do you remember any of
Yo,
the
Rob, you
things?
know what we did when you first introduced me to diet? You took me to this little corner, like Spanish place, right? They had like
Yeah.
little tacos and stuff, and we got tacos, and then like we went back and we took out the chicken and we ate like one, like you said, like just eat one of the wraps, like because that's gonna be like
Yeah.
15 carbs, and then I ate the chicken. Like, see, we basically you were eating with me and showing me how to do this. I was like, no, I would just eat the whole thing. I was like, no, that's gonna be like 45 carbs, and I was like, I'm you hungry? You're like, no, just have one of them,
It's
just one. So then I got used to then seeing in the plate, just well, what about all this extra bread? Like, well, we don't eat that. We just throw that out. I'm looking at all these great delicious wraps with the, you
funny,
know,
funny story building on that, Matt. It's, you guys both know Dennis, my cousin.
yeah.
So Dennis, when he
Yeah.
went to college, he gained a lot of weight, like muscle. He was huge. He was like 280 pounds. He was like a big bouncer, like a football player. So when he came back to the city, he wanted to lose weight because his knees were bad. And so we started training together, and I started doing the same sort of thing with him. But this was before Schwarzbein. This is just like, and so we had rules. And one of the rules was we would go out to eat together, and he would eat so fast. So one of the rules was he can only take a bite when I take a bite. And I'm like a chronic chewer. Like I chew every bite like 45 times. Like I can't swallow food unless it's completely mush. So he would, we'd be eating, let's say we're sitting across from each other eating a burger or something. He takes a bite, he swallows it in 1.1 seconds, and then he's just staring at me like
Mhm.
chewing and chewing and chewing, and he's like just waiting to take his next bite. It was like torture. You know what I mean? So it was like that just reminded me of that though. Do you remember
That's interesting.
do you remember the
Like, so
mission
are you
map?
savoring it? Why aren't you?
No, I'm just
That sounds
that's how I
awful.
eat.
Why aren't you swallowing?
I just eat
Like,
slow. No, I
oh, okay.
can't
Oh, we
bring
just can't.
myself to swallow food that's
Okay.
not chewed. Like some people like just swallow like whole
Yeah,
food. I don't understand that.
I'm I'm an animal. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I just like
I am too.
it doesn't stay too
I'm
long.
not tasting it. My friend Roxana, she'll eat food to taste it, and she takes a very, very long time to eat her food. And so we're all
Yeah.
finished. You're like, it's like you, Rob. We're all
No,
finished. and, like,
mine's
waiting.
texture. It's not. I'm not trying to. I can't physically swallow food
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not like
Okay.
chewed to a like
You
I mean,
you would never
Yeah,
be one of those
no.
teachers that has like 5 minutes and you're going to eat a whole thing in 5 minutes. Like because you have to, so
No.
you'd have just a little bit then.
But
I've had whole lunches where like I have to do this,
yeah.
and it's probably so unhealthy. And then I see on my lunch, I'm so hungry, and I'll eat the whole thing right before the kids come, and I'll just like, like, all right, and they come in. Probably the worst thing for your digestion, but that's the reality sometimes.
Yeah. Something else that we had though, in addition to the diet, well, first of all, we had the Vitamix. We used to make shakes all the time. But
Yes.
also something
We had a
else we had
blender.
though, yeah. Also something else we had though was just the ability to like we would exercise. It's like so we had a chin up bar, and we would see who can hang the longest from the chin up bar, and we would do chin ups. We had push up bars.
It was a great thing to have. Yeah, actually,
Did I give you that? Did I give you that
Yes,
chin-up bar?
yes, Brugge
I
actually
did.
that
Wait, I
one
want
that
to show
we
you something. Hang on a second. Well, you guys talk for a second. I want to bring something over.
yeah that yes
I
you
did.
You
That was
and
from
then-
my brother's room.
And then
my brother Colin.
actually used a screw gun. I screwed it into the doorway, into the.
Did you guys ever hang like from your feet from that thing and do sit up? Like I don't even know what that's called. What would that be called?
We might have because I could swear that I brought in gravity boots once, which is like
now. I never bought these. I never remember buying these. I think these were ours from the lab.
Yeah, that's them. That's what I was just talking about. We had push-up bars.
These are our original 20-year-old push-up bars that I have now.
That's right.
I think when you left, you just gave it to me. And eventually I just took it home.
Time out. Did you just throw them across the room? Did you just throw them?
They're right next to me.
Oh, I saw you go like this.
No, I just put them down next to me. I'm in the basement. Those are the originals. I never remember buying. I never remember. So it had to be when we were just using them in the lab 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was funny, man. Like we would, so we had the chin-up bar, we had the push-up bars, and then of course, like you and I would play Super Pong so hard that we'd be sweating. Like we would be.
We mentioned Super Pong quite a bit, so I'm assuming our listeners are familiar with the game.
Tell us about the third floor sprint.
Oh yeah, the third floor sprint. You introduced me to sprinting. You were big on the concept of just for working out, just adding in a few sprints, just running as fast as you can, just for maybe like I don't know, about 30 seconds or so, or maybe a minute. So I was like, well, I want to do this. I don't want to. By the time I get off work, I just want to go home. So I started to work out. I wanted to work out in the morning. So. We had push-ups, we had chin-ups at work, so I just wanted to do a couple sprints. So there was nobody, in the hallway. The kids weren't there yet on the third floor where I was, the floor that I was on. So I started to just jet down the hall as fast as I can because it's like a nice long narrow hallway, and I would just run as fast as I can at 7:00 in the morning down the hallway, and I started to call it the third floor sprint. But then I just started to announce if anybody wants to join me, this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to get into shape, and every morning I'm starting to get the school going, like we'll do a sprint together. No, everyone's like, you're crazy. So I'm just jetting down everyone's hall. I did that all year. So I started to just chant out third floor sprint.
Yeah, so no, you wouldn't crash into anybody, and then all of a sudden I would hear it, and then I would see you.
Just announcing it in case, trying to get over the third floor sprint, get people see who wants to join me, but no.
You know what I forgot?
I think it further ostracized me and worked the opposite way. Where I'm just
people like stay away from
strange guys running down the hall, and
I totally forgot something. There was a gym that was like down the block from the school. It was
I've done that for different times. I was a member there.
Yeah, I joined that gym too. And I remember I used to go there sometimes at lunch, sometimes after school.
We went there together.
Yes.
A couple of times.
Yes.
And there are still many staff members that work at that school that still go to that gym.
Is it still there, the gym?
Yeah.
Oh,
they get there at like 6:30 in the morning, and then they're there for an hour, and then they come into school around 7:30.
There's a para friend, I think, of mine that goes now. Yeah, I actually saw him recently. He said came to my play. He said he works out there. I was like, yeah, we'll talk about it. It's a good gym.
I would say that I was the first one in the school to join there, but I think Hansei was actually the first.
Yeah. Oh man.
It wasn't Bridget?
Bridget?
Yeah, was it Bridget?
No, back then?
No? Yeah, no. I don't know. No. Okay. She
may have joined it
there.
She may have joined it at some point, but I joined that gym like right when it opened, like back in the day, like way back,
Ansei's not playing around when he goes there because that guy
he's jacked.
That's Roman Reigns category there. He's a wrestler, if you know.
Oh, I was gonna say, who the hell is that?
Oh, by the way, podcast shout out. This past weekend is a podcast with Theo Vaughn.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah, right. He was like on the original like Road Rules or something. And so
Yeah.
great
I've seen his
pod,
podcast.
great podcast. But Matt, there's an episode with Kevin Von Erich, and they
Oh,
talk
okay.
all about the family. You have to listen to it. It's really good.
All right, I'll check it out. Yeah, Kevin Von Erich is from a legendary wrestling family. And they had a movie out about their lives, and
It's called
his
like the
brothers
yeah.
all died, and from traumatic ways. And I mean, I don't want to get into their whole story, but it's a very, very sad story. But he's the last remaining Von Erich from that. But then he has children who are now involved in wrestling, and they've won tag team gold, which is really cool. So they're continuing, the Von Erich saga. Put a positive spin on their lives, which kind of had a pretty traumatic turn. The movie was out. That was called what's it called? I saw it.
The Iron Claw.
Iron Claw. That was a great movie.
So
You
I
see it,
had
Brew?
no, she didn't see it.
Brew,
I
you did?
mean, I know that Zac
Movie?
Efron.
Yeah, I was gonna say she.
What's
you go
really
somewhere else
funny?
for a
Like
little while?
two things. When you start talking about this shit, I'm zoned out. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, but you
I have
follow
no idea.
like Zach.
But then we were talking about a movie.
As soon as you said like what it was about, I'm like, oh, Zac Efron,
Yeah.
the guy, and then I was like, oh, the guy from The Bear.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, yeah, that's right. He played Carrie Von Erich. Yeah.
So I got a question for Brugge right after I'm gonna give you some examples. Two other things that I used to do at school for exercise were jump roping. I had a jump rope, and then pogo stick. Pogo stick is shockingly hard. It's like trampolining. You ever trampoline?
You were really good. That's actually in our intro video.
Yes.
To the podcast. There's a shot of you doing some pogo stick
I
action
think I
there.
still have Rob's pogo stick in my garage.
So my question, Brugge,
Yeah.
was there anything that you would do at school for exercise?
Yes.
Tell us.
Yeah. Kulig and I used to do squats.
That's right. You had like a squat challenge, right? Like it would be like
Yeah, it was like
30
the
a
30
day,
day
100.
butt challenge.
Oh my God, I forgot about
and every day you increase the amount of squats you
That's
did.
right.
So like, yeah.
I do squats now. I wasn't into squats then, but now I do squats. Now I'd be in on it. Yeah.
I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
So
Oh,
we
man.
did that. I'm trying to think what else we did. Nothing else. No, that was it. Just the squats.
Yeah.
So
I
what
remember
time would you guys do that? Would it be before work? Like, or did you find a time in the middle of the day and just say, hey, you want to squat?
could have been prep, especially if it was back-to-back prep lunch, because you kind of have like 2 hours, and
Are
especially
you
if
talking about me and Kulig? It was
Yeah, when did you-
me and Kulig. It was whenever she had lunch. We would.
Oh, okay. So you would do it in the middle of the day, right?
Yeah.
You call her up and say, we want to do our squats now?
Yeah.
It's kind of like me and Rob. Yeah. Okay. We're going to do super pong. Well, no, I didn't realize teachers were then, other teachers, I guess around everybody had their own pattern, of like how they were going to, keep in shape during the day. I think it's important because, during the day, you're there about 8 hours, so every day. And then usually a lot of them, would just kind of get in the car, and a lot of them live far away. So a lot of teachers, if they have a long commute, so then you go home, and then eventually you have kids. It's kind of hard. So you kind of need that time during unless you go before work, or when sometimes you have even things after work. It's pretty tough I think that's where some of the pattern comes in, where you just get into really bad habits of just,
Well,
just getting
also
out of
you
shape.
had mentioned like people eating across the street, grabbing a like slicey,
Like
oh my
me.
God, a
I've done it.
greasy slice
I
of pizza.
knew exactly what I was doing, but I did it anyway. Go ahead.
I was thinking about like a lot of teachers do pack their lunches. But it's like, I think about like when I packed my lunch, I would probably eat it before a certain time. And then by the time it was like 12 o'clock, I'm like, oh, I'm going to go out and grab like a coffee and a bagel.
Indeed.
Like I was having
especially,
2 lunches.
especially the last few years, Cindy started to make my lunch, because I would just say, I don't have time. And so and it became a thing. And it just became a thing. She just, make my lunch. And I would have it for breakfast sometimes, just because there was nothing better than sort of sitting there and then you're at your desk and then, hey, now there's food, and it's just great. It's there. So I didn't have in my head, well, I'm going to wait for this time. If I had a free moment and there was food there, I just ate it, I don't know.
Well,
just
I can remember us ordering off of the Tasty's diner menu, and there was apple pie or cherry pie and chocolate milkshake. I mean, I couldn't have the milkshake.
Sweet potato fries.
Sweet potato fries. It was just oh my God.
Well, that's when I started to realize how bad I ate, because I remember you guys were eating stuff. I remember, and I had pancakes. I ordered the pancakes, and we're sitting in Brugge's office, and I just had this big, huge thing of pancakes with syrup, and I'm just feeling kind of fat, and I'm just like, man, I gotta lose some weight. What am I doing wrong here? I'm just eating, eating these giant, in diners, they give you these round, like a silver dollar pancake in a diner is a regular sized pancake at home.
Yeah.
So in a diner, they give you Uncle Buck pancakes. Yes. So I'm just sitting there eating the Uncle Buck pancakes. And I think Rob probably had a salad. I'm just like, what am I doing wrong?
Wait, so
how do I crack this code?
So here's a question, and I want specific. I don't want general. I want, if you don't have a specific, then you don't have an answer. What were things that you would get out at wherever you can, that were part of Schwarzbein, that were healthy, so when you were on point, what was it that you were eating? I know one of them I know a staple that we had, Matt, it's something that we bought and that we had in the office at all times, but
I would make it. Yeah. I made you egg salad. Do you remember my egg salad? I made it with hummus.
Yep.
I made it with hummus. I put hot sauce in it. Hummus was the substitute for mayonnaise.
Yeah.
And then I'd get a bunch.
Disgusting.
I would get a bunch of hard-boiled eggs.
Hummus and what?
Can I finish it? Can I finish it before you? All right. So I would go to 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven had hard-boiled eggs.
It's getting better.
So I'd get some hard-boiled eggs from 7-Eleven.
Yeah. This is what I'm talking about, by the way.
Right. Yeah. And I'd get some hummus. And then we had a fridge, so there was hot sauce. I put garlic in it, onions, and I would just chop this all up, mush it up, and it was my specialty, egg salad. And then I would give a batch to Rob. Rob loved it. Rob was sitting there eating my egg salad. At least you never tell me if you hate it.
No, it was good. It was really good.
It's all the stuff you ate, So we like both of the stuff. I like to think these are the things my father would eat. My father my father was very heavy, but he would just eat he would eat all the things that are wrong, but then he eat everything in the world that's healthy as well. That was the problem. He just ate everything. But he really liked to think
that sounds like a freaking ulcer. You got all that sounds disgusting.
What, the eggs and the rest?
The eggs.
It was delicious.
Yeah, the eggs, the onions, the garlic.
All right, Brugge, what do you got? What was
you don't eat garlic and onions?
I didn't do Schwarzbein, so
what was your
do you eat hummus?
What was your health hack?
I do eat hummus.
Brugge.
Do you eat onions?
So my health hack was.
So we're moving past.
I would bring in. My health hack. Actually, I don't even know if it's a health hack. I don't know, but I have, and I forgot that I did this until my friend Priscilla. You guys know Priscilla. She actually sent me a video. She's like, "Do you remember when you used to do this? I would bring whole cucumbers into the school, and I would peel them there, and then I would chop them, and I would dip them in hummus. That would be my." Lunch. But then what's really unhealthy is I'd eat the entire thing of hummus. I'd kill it.
I remember, Rob, you were working on the ultimate healthy brownie.
Yes.
And I was your guinea pig to try it out. And I would sit there and you would just watch me with a notepad almost and just take and I would tell you what's missing. And you wanted to know, because I had a sweet tooth and I loved peanut butter. I was a peanut butter guy. Yeah. So you wanted to know if it had the right amount. I think it was a peanut butter brownie, right?
Yeah, it was.
And you're wanted to know what can I do? What is it there? Is it the exact amount of sweetness?
Yeah.
But because you're using other
ingredients to
yeah.
get it to that level.
Did you
So
put
I'd be
like the black beans in it? Wasn't that like part of a recipe
I
for
might
like healthy
have.
I would give
brownies?
you, and I think when it started to hit, I would tell you that's it. That's what you need. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you hit the sweet spot right there. You know, it's
Yeah,
great.
no. Yeah, no. It was I was working on that for a while.
I think
There's
Rob,
also the yeah.
you were the one who started intermittent fasting like years ago.
Oh yeah.
You had created some sort of diagram. I remember talking about it, and then all of a sudden, everyone now I know is intermittent fasting.
Yeah. No,
I'm
I was
doing that
doing
now. I didn't mention that I'm doing that now with how I'm eating also. I'm throwing in the fast with what I'm eating now. So I'm doing a double. I pretty much just don't eat till like 1, 12 or 1 o'clock. And I kind of stop at night. So it's that kind of thing. I'm not doing by the exact hours. I just realized, I don't have to eat until that time. So I get the fast in. But so Rob was doing that. Rob, you were doing that years ago?
Oh, I was doing
Yeah, like
yeah, no, I was doing
Yeah.
before anyone ever heard of intermittent. Like, I'm not saying I invented it, but like, yeah, I
Yeah.
was doing it a long time ago. Like before it was the thing, But Matt, remember mission wraps though?
Mission wraps.
They were the tortilla wraps that had like only 5 grams of carbs. And
Yeah.
we would use them for everything. We would like dip them in
Yeah.
hummus. We would dip them,
Yes.
we'd
They were
put
like
peanut butter and jelly on
they were
there.
like a thick square, right?
Yeah, well, these were round. They were they still sell them. Mission, the brand is Mission
Mission.
carb balance,
Yeah.
wraps.
Yeah, I know the carb balance ones.
We would
And
we would get
I
cold
had them.
cuts,
Yeah. No, I think I got it, and I was upstairs, but I stopped when I decided like to cut out like bread for a while, even though it's still the carb. I just because I'll eat too many of them, and so I just said I'm going to completely cut it. But yeah, no, I would always have things like that. I just put peanut butter in it or something like that.
the new school that I'm going to, it's not like our old school where there's pizza across the street or, Rudy's Bakery. Like there's nothing in the neighborhood. So I'm going to have to DoorDash it or make lunches every day,
If you wanted to
which
cheat,
is a good thing.
if you wanted to cheat, right, like and have something to be unhealthy at work, what would be your first, best thing to go get if you can get one?
So many
Where
things.
we worked.
Well, Rudy's was a big one for me. So going to Rudy's and getting like cookies or chocolate or whatever, like, or just a really sweet big coffee from like Dunkin' Donuts or something. Then, or fat. Are we saying fast food is included here?
Yeah.
Because Burger King was there,
Yeah.
I know what I would get. I would get a large mocha latte with a roasted bush sandwich from Milk and
Oh,
Pulp.
the cream. Oh, yeah. That's the coffee place, the Roasted Bush.
Yeah.
I was like, roasted bush.
Yeah. You've been there. I think you went there.
You guys took me there for lunch once because it wasn't there when I was there.
Yeah. And they had some interesting things on the menu, right? They had some,
they did.
Yeah. What was some of the items on the menu, Brugge?
I have no idea. I just remember that specific one was like my go-to, but it was so unhealthy, along with like a giant mocha latte. I did not need that.
Yeah.
I did not need to drink that.
the milkshakes from the diner was another one of mine. Like I get a chocolate milkshake with like the fries and with the whatever, the burger.
I started to go to that yogurt spot when I really had a bad day, and I would get like just just get the peanut butter yogurt, which but then they just have brownies.
Oh, the
and,
toppings.
The toppings. And I would just put the peanut butter sauce on top of Reese's Pieces, and then put brownies in it, and I just take it back to my desk like I'm hiding like the greatest thing of all time. I'm gonna sit by myself and
precious. I'm precious.
Yeah, precious. So leave me alone. I'm in the corner. I'm more sweets. That's what it felt like.
That's funny.
Brugge, you were restricted though, like because you had like you would like if you weren't eating dairy, you weren't eating gluten, so like
Yeah. So it's gluten and dairy for
what was
like
your what
years.
was your cheat then? Like what was your I don't know, like I don't know, peanut M&Ms or something? Like what would you get?
No, I just told you there was like a time where, well, like after that, I was like, I can't give up both because
Yeah.
it's really sad. It's sad, like to give up both gluten and dairy. So I just went back to gluten. I was like, I eat because dairy really got sick. Gluten gets me sick, but dairy
Yeah.
really got
But
like I was,
but
yeah.
what was the worst thing that you would eat like during the school day? Because Matt and I just listed all these horrible things, like the
I
fast
mean,
food, and
I don't know. I'm trying to think maybe
I
like
don't
a
really
Burger King
remember you.
Whopper,
Yeah,
a
man,
Burger King Whopper.
I don't remember you really pigging out.
No, like I like cookies, like Linda tarts, so I would go to Rudy's, maybe a brownie. She was making like gluten-free brownies and cookies at that time, so I would eat that crap. But Whoppers, I love Whoppers. Like
Yeah,
even
no.
now, oh my God, Whoppers are the best.
Burger King was definitely mine. I remember like Hanse said something like, like once he had it, it was like, if you have to go all the way when you go. He was, like meaning like I knew what he meant. He's like, yeah, if you're gonna go, you just have to get the whole thing. Can't just go. You're not gonna go to Burger King for a diet,
Well,
and
that
just
was the
get
thing. Like I would go to Burger King when I was gluten-free and it'd be like, I'd have a Whopper without a bun. Or I'd bring these really disgusting, because at that time
Yeah,
gluten-free crap tasted disgusting. So I would bring gluten-free buns and then I would put the Whopper. It was so gross. It was so
I
gross.
mean, I understand. You wanted the Burger King experience, but
you know
And
who
now, oh sorry, go ahead.
you know who annoyed me?
Who?
They were nice people, but the not the wife, the husband, the guy, the owners of the Subway. Remember Subway?
Oh, yeah, I do
There was a
remember the
there was a
Subway.
couple. There was a couple who owned it, and
Yeah.
you would
that was
either
next
get
to Rudy's. Was that next to
it was
Rudy's?
over
It was
there.
across. Yeah, it was across.
You would either get
Oh yeah,
her
yeah, yeah. Okay,
or
in
you
that
get
corner.
him.
Okay,
And he
right.
was so cheap with the toppings. You know what I mean? Like you
Ah,
ask for olives, you put like 4 slices of olive on there.
Let
It's
me
like, you know what,
let
guy?
me
Just put some freaking olives on there.
let me ask you a question. When people say the word Subway, do you just automatically say eat fresh? Because every single time somebody says Subway, whether it's in reference to the actual Subway or the store Subway, I'm always saying eat fresh.
Yeah.
Do you
And
say
five
that? Do
dollar
you do
and
that?
$5 foot
well,
long.
what do you mean you say eat
Five
fresh? Like
dollar
it's a,
footlongs. Because their
you
slogan
just
is
say the
eat
slogan,
fresh.
Yeah.
or
Eat
what?
fresh.
So
Right.
yeah,
So
eat
you
fresh.
just say it out loud because you
Yeah.
you
So
hear
like
it.
if you say, oh, I'm going to take the subway to blah blah blah, I'd be like, eat
Eat
fresh.
fresh.
No, I don't. I never. No,
even even now, like you're talking about
no,
how you would sit in the corner and you would like eat all this crap. The thing that popped in my head was the scene from
no,
Tommy Boy where he's like, I could just hear you getting fatter.
no. I was
Because
just wondering where the subway was. Yeah, so just figuring out where it is. Listening to the story, but yeah, no, you all have
I
different
think my
reactions.
maturity level is like that of a 12-year-old boy.
I just said as a teacher in my 40s, I'd have to bring brownies back and hide. I think I win. Lowest maturity level.
Oh, let's talk about when there would be like a potluck or
Oh,
when people would bring certain things. So I had a skill. My skill was I would make people believe that the thing that they made, the thing that they would cook or whatever was the best thing I had ever had. So people love to bring me stuff. So like
Thanks.
when
After I just explained the whole egg salad story, Rob, that's
yeah. No, yours was built in. I'm talking about people bringing in stuff they made at home and then like sharing it. Like or they
yeah,
they would say, "Oh, I made a batch of this and I brought you some." Like that kind of thing. So
right.
like a prime example was Sandy and she would bring in her arugula, which man,
yeah.
actually I don't know if you like that, but man, I loved her arugula, man. She would bring it in and I would get like a special batch sometimes.
I'm not a
And I
fan of
had
it. So I actually would take it and have a bite and then like sort of, I would say like, but I didn't want to, but it wasn't like, because I didn't like her arugula. I
Yeah.
just, I didn't like arugula.
Mhm.
And I'm Jewish, so I don't know, but but I would
I
just say
never
it's like,
had it before her, so
yeah.
I Slagle, she made coconut brownies and regular brownies, and she would always bring me in special like little thing of them and give them to me because I loved her brownie so much.
she's one of
I
mine
got them too.
also.
Me too.
No,
Me
mine wasn't
too.
the brownies though. Mine was this
Or
like
just
rum cake thing that she made for Festivus. Oh my God, it
Um,
was incredible. She would
I
bring
got the
that in.
brownies.
Oh,
I got
you know
special
what you
brownies.
just popped in my head, Rob? I don't know if you remember this, but you made I remember this because it was so sweet.
the
We were at
ostrich egg deviled egg.
no,
Oh,
that
sorry.
was disgusting, and no, we were at Neil's Halloween party,
Yeah,
and you made a spinach dip,
that's my
and
specialty.
you used dairy free ingredients.
Yeah,
And I was like, like you were like, oh, here, I made this with dairy free so that you can eat it. And I remember like thinking like, you're a nice guy.
that's the spinach dip is like if I want to go to a place and impress people where people like want to become my friend because something I made tastes so good, it's the spinach dip. And
I
so
really appreciated that shake you made me, Rob, in the lab with the chocolate and it had
Are
an
you making fun of
avocado in
me?
it.
Are you making fun of
no, he's
No,
allergic to
I'm
avocado.
allergic to avocado.
And I forgot. I was like, so I'm still trying to make these healthy
Why do I
shakes and
have this
brownies.
pain in my abdomen?
He's like, is there
It's
avocado
like,
in here?
I was like, what's
It's
what?
like, how
And
did you
I'm still
know?
drinking the shake. I'm still drinking it. And then I was like, I'm going through like what was in this anyway? You're kind of going through and he's like doing this, that. Oh yeah, and I threw an avocado in. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, what happens? Did you have to leave?
No.
No, it's not
No,
like that.
it's like it feels like needles sticking in your abdomen for like 6 hours. Uh,
Oh,
and
I
it goes
mean,
away. Yeah.
that
No,
sounds
I mean it was
great.
like, hey boys and girls, let's sing some songs. Come on. You
Yeah.
okay, Mr. Jacob? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm trying to think. Oh, another one. Sometimes we would have potluck things. It was like on like professional development days,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to remember her name. Nicole's. Why can't I remember her name? Teresiano.
Oh, Teresiano Jones,
She
Marissa.
made some kind of breakfast thing. It was like a casserole. I think it was her. That was incredible, also. But that was like for everyone. It wasn't for me. Like she just made that. Like,
She also made these like fudge balls that were fantastic too, or Oreo balls that she would bring in. Do
oh, I don't
you
remember
remember
that.
these?
No.
Yeah.
Balls, Oreo balls. No,
Angela was
sounds
like
really
the
good.
cake pop person.
Oh yeah, Angela made cake pops.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
we had a lot of talented. I brought nothing in. That was I'm trying to think like what was my contribution. Nothing.
You know who made a great tuna? Because
Yeah.
I would also arrange competitions so just so that I could have stuff to eat, right? So I like did an egg salad competition, a tuna competition,
The XL one.
and then
Yeah.
like everyone would bring it in, and then I made myself the judge, right? So then I have to eat everyone's stuff, right? So, but you know who made a great tuna? The principal who we all know, her husband.
Husband. Yeah.
Holy cow, he made a
Oh,
good tuna.
okay.
And then the deviled egg contest was the one where I tried to do it with an ostrich egg. And
Yeah.
that was absolutely disgusting.
And I made them and I thought mine were
Yours were good.
like
Wait, Brugge's breaking up. She's frozen. Brugge's frozen.
She's frozen.
Uh-oh. Brugge's
Uh-oh.
frozen. Can she hear us?
here that I don't like. Hello.
Wait,
Yeah, I
Can you
don't,
hear
I don't
me?
know what's
you were
going on.
just
Oh,
Yeah,
you
I can
just
hear you now.
you just sounded
Oh,
like
okay.
a malfunctioning robot for about 20 seconds. What were you saying?
It kind of
So-
came full circle from the spirit thing. But go ahead.
I was saying that we had a deviled egg contest and I made them. And I can remember Rob, you saying to me, these are really good, but what killed it? The celery. Because
Oh
I
yeah.
put celery in it.
Yeah.
And you didn't like celery.
No,
so
I
now
hate
I know.
celery. I hate celery in my tuna and and deviled egg. Oh my God, I hate it. Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that funny that we like all of us, we've known each other forever, that we know everybody's like allergies
No, but I
and food
think
sensitivities.
I think that's a big part of, you know, our job was like what, just understanding just food in general, and our health during the day, and
Yeah.
people that are eating the wrong way, people eating the right way. But especially when you're friends, you kind of observe. So Rob knew right away what was everything I was doing wrong, because he would, you eat together, and you just spend so many years together, you just pick up on everyone's what they can eat, what they can't eat, and
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of today, what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Anyone else have anything else that they did for, we didn't really talk about mental health, like during the school day, just like, an easy example would be like Matt and I, we would throw a movie. We had a projector and we would throw on like Rocky or a movie and just sit there and watch a movie. You know what I mean? Like for like 30 minutes or something,
That's how Brugge and I became friends, because I was watching Star Wars in the lab,
Mm.
Yeah.
and she was a huge Star Wars fan. So she would come over and it's like watch it and be
Yeah.
like,
Oh, I am, boy. I've got a giant X-ray fighter sitting behind me.
Oh, I have some news.
what?
I was going through these, like I have a bunch of old like thumb drives and everything, like these little
Yeah.
things. And I was going through and I found one that has all of the files for the original PBIS posters on it.
Oh, the original ones.
The original, the ones that were like, so I have all of the posters for PBIS on the thumb drive.
Oh,
So we
cool.
can
awesome.
print them out and hang them up wherever we want.
That's cool. I think one was still remaining.
Yeah. Brugge said that she got
I have one. It's in my, I have it. Yeah, they were throwing them all out because they weren't doing it anymore. So
I know, but it's so funny that like even like years later, there was like you'd still find one in the building
It's
that nobody
shocking
took
that they
down.
were up there so long.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
because I remember walking the kids maybe like 10 years after,
Yeah.
and then somebody would look and be like, because I was like, with glasses and superhero costume, like, that's you, Mr. Jacobs. Like, you're a superhero. I was like, yeah, that's me. I was like, but nobody knew what it was at this point. Some random picture of three guys in superhero costumes. They didn't understand what was going on in the poster or anything. It meant nothing to them.
Yeah.
But there was still random posters around the school nobody took down. That'd be a good game. Find the old PBIS posters.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's none left. I know that now because I went after we spoke about this like months ago. I remember walking around like looking for them, and there's nothing there.
I'm gonna print out some 8.5
They were
by
all
11
gone.
and find someone still working at school and have them hide it somewhere, like behind the curtain, up on the stage. We always have to have one somewhere in the school.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah.
So Brugge, what are you gonna bring for lunch when you go to your new school?
I don't know, man. I have no idea. I don't even know if I'm going to eat lunch.
Making lunch every day. Oh my God.
Probably like turkey sandwiches.
DoorDash is hard. Well, maybe not for you. DoorDash would be hard because it's timing. You got to order it. You gotta,
But yeah, there's like no option. So I'm just going to be, but then that's like what we were saying in the beginning of this was that once I make it, then I'm probably going to eat it before 10 o'clock and then I'm going to be starving by 12. So.
Well, I think a lot's going to be based on your schedule. Then you're going to see sort of like when, if there's people you're friends with there, so you probably might have lunch with them. Look,
guys, I can't believe this starts in like 2 weeks. That's bananas.
I know. Good for you.
So crazy.
You must feel so different.
I feel good. I'm doing a presentation the second day of school. They've already asked me.
Wait, do you have a space?
I have so I'm in the basement.
But do you have a room or no?
Not really. They told me that I can see kids on the stage, or I can see kids in the stairwell.
I'm only
Or
asking. I'm only asking because, like, are you gonna get yourself a cart or something, or you know?
I have a cart. Yeah, so
Okay.
I bought myself a cart. And I bought a desk because I wasn't sure. Like I have a rolly kind of like desk thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. So I already asked my friend who's a kindergarten teacher if her hallway was basically free.
Mhm.
So I could just like sit in the hallway and set up shop there.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. I'm going from a school that had a beautiful, I mean, it was a beautiful school. And the schools, like they have a brand new wing. But there's just no space.
Yeah.
Because they have tons of kids.
That's basically my background several times through the years. Is like, it's like
Yeah, I'm gonna be like you,
finding,
Maddie.
yeah, finding a space. I was master of the cart for a long time.
I'm gonna be like the guy from Office Space. Office Space stapler.
Yeah,
Where's my stapler?
It's my stapler.
My stapler.
There's something fun about the cart, though. You sort of put everything on it. It's like your own.
Yeah.
It's like you're living in a van down by the river. So
I'm
That's
looking
no
forward
reference.
to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
like my mental health, like I can already feel better. Like,
No, it's
about
going to
this
be
move.
great. It's not going to be.
Yeah.
It's not going to be. It's interesting when you said hallway. I automatically my first thought was where we used to work in the hallway. But now you're in a completely different space.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that's a race. That was my first thought when you said it. Is that like you're going to be in that hallway? But no, it's like it's a completely different place,
So
completely different stairwell. All these
the
things are
building
moving.
and the building that you used to work in was very simple, right? It was just 4 hallways stacked up on top of each other. This place has a lot of crannies. So
You can figure it out.
Nooks and crannies.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, and
Nooks
that's a
and
big
crannies.
going along with health. That's a big part of just mental health sometimes. Moving on. So good for you.
Mhm. Yes.
Speaking of
Yes,
moving on, I
definitely.
think it's about time we say goodbye. And this has been a great one on our physical health and
Mhm.
mental health as educators. Anything you guys want to add?
No?
No, this was a good one. I like this one.
Yeah, I think important one too, because especially young teachers starting out, they just listening to us old vets just to get advice on how we try our best anyway to keep healthy, and when you fall off and just how to get back on, because nothing's more important than your health. Anyway, so for Brugge and Mr. Rob Monahan, I'm Matthew, and we'll talk to you guys on the next one. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Okay. See ya.